That's
Whoop-
Alan.
Whoopi Goldberg would refer to that as pigeons in tap shoes. Well, just that little click, 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 click. I don't
That's
know.
funny.
I don't know that it's coming from Alan because
I think it is. I think if we mute him, we'll hear that it's
Oh,
him.
really? Okay.
I think so.
All right. Okay. Well, we've got everything all lined up for tonight. Tonight we have our setup for Victoria's going to go first for a weekend review. Then Ruth,
Yep.
you will chime in after that, and I will chime in after that. And we should be in good shape. We got a great guest who's got a great book tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Ready? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Want to talk about that book? I like it, and I like her little people.
Yeah.
I
I
love
do.
people. So we are just about ready to go. Actually, Alan, whenever Alan's ready, we can go ahead and get started, and that will leave more time
All
for
right.
our
Now that
guests.
I'm
Oh, that
back
good.
to my good old popping self here,
All right.
I will go ahead and hit the open on you. You guys have a great one, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks so much, Alan. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Authors Up. So glad to have you joining us tonight. We already got somebody in the house. It's Miss Linda. Hey, Linda. Glad to have you in the house tonight. And we got Miss Ruth and Queen Victoria giving us a wave already this evening. How you ladies doing?
Doing good. How are you?
We're good.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And we're going to start like we always do. We're going to have our weekend review. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And Alan, if we have any of our countries joining us tonight, we would appreciate if you pipe them in there so that we can give them an official warm welcome from Authors Up. But let's talk about our weekend review. Victoria, what was going on with you last week?
Last week was a week. But the biggest, greatest gift is that I am right now in Indiana with my mom. So
Yeah.
that's why my background looks a little different. And I'm sitting in her spare bedroom. I'm looking out the window, and she has a lake in the back, and it's so
Oh,
peaceful. It's just beautiful to watch the water, they have a little cascade, and it's just so great to be with my mom. My sister flew in as well, and so it's having fun with the siblings, and we just, of course, laughing and joking, cutting up with each other, and just because my older brother's here, we just missing my baby brother Mike, and but we're having a good time. It's really nice to spend time with mom, and because she was sick and she just got out of the hospital a few days ago, so it's just been really nice just to be here. And I'm off from work. Uh, so I'll be here until Friday. I mean, seriously, vacation mode. I brought my computer. I'm probably just going to check like just a little, but everything is shut down. I'm not processing any invoices. I'm not paying any bills. I'm not keying in anything. I'm off.
taking a real vacation. Okay.
Good
Yes.
for you. Good
Yes.
for you.
No time restraints at all. The only thing I had to do tonight was authors up. But it is nice, and I'm tired, and I need the break. So I'm ecstatic to be here, and I just thank God for my mom's health. She will be 90 this year, so we're
Wow.
just thanking God that
What's her
she's in October.
October? Wow. That is
October 17th, she will be 90 years old. It's amazing.
Wow.
what a blessing.
Yeah.
What a blessing that is. Well, you enjoy, Miss Victoria.
Thank
I know next week you will have much to say about
Yes, I
going on.
will. Yeah, I have a lot to report next week.
And Ruth, how about you?
You know what? I was thinking beforehand what I would share, and I came to realize that it's just been busy. We are almost a quarter of the way through the year.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. We are 25% through with 2023.
Yes.
I mean, where has the time gone? So,
Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you a part of my week went last week, and I'm happy, Andrea, I know I know you shared this in your newsletter, getting ready to share more of it for your book signings, your book launch for your next two books. So I, as your publisher, have been working on those, finishing them up. We got the
Yeah.
covers, so we're going to be sharing those coming up really soon. Just
Can't wait
excited.
to
I
see
know, I
it.
know. And I always get this is, honestly, and this is my favorite part when it comes to publishing, because I feel like, okay, this is a part of me as well. So I feel I'm not as excited as you are, but I am excited with you and I am
Yeah.
excited for you. So I can't wait to share all that, to reveal it. It's going to be awesome. So
Oh,
that's part of my week.
congratulations.
Yep.
I am I am excited.
Yeah, I can tell.
You should be. Oh
This
my gosh.
this was a different kind of venture because it's not set up like everything has been in the past.
Right.
Usually we get the book and we do a book launch and
Hmm.
book signing kind of thing. But this is a little bit different because this is going to happen in April
Okay.
29th for and it's going to be a reading for his glory. So I'm really focusing on because one of the books that is being launched has to do with our 8 at 8 program, which is, giving God glory in the evening and coming in to hear his victory verses in the morning. But it's kind of like a prelude to the party. That's what I was talking to Ruth about that. It's really a prelude to the party because in June, on June 10th, that is going to be an event called Make It Count. Make It Count. And it's celebrating 5 years in broadcasting.
Yeah, right.
Our shows will be represented. Authors Up will be represented that day, June 10th, and Whole and Beautiful is going to be represented that day, and we're really going to. I really, really want it to be a wonderful time for those who attend, for those who have been following this journey and been a part of this journey. So it's really a little different, which has me a little anxious, but I have a wonderful publisher and great friends who will calm me down and say,
Yes.
just go back in the corner. It's
We're
all
ready
going to be
to-
all right.
Yes. Yes.
Just go back in your corner. So I'm looking forward to all of that. I'm looking forward to all of that. My thanks is always to Ruth, who is wonderful to work with on
Amen.
all
Amen.
levels.
She is. We love her. We couldn't do this without you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for all that you do and for the thought that you put into every bit of it, because you really take it as your own. And I appreciate that so very much. There's trusting somebody with your baby is
Yes,
is
it's a
not
lot.
always easy. It's easier for me probably than it is for you. but I do appreciate every bit of it. And I
Of
look forward
course.
to sharing more of what's going on
Mhm.
in the days ahead, because April 29th will be here before we
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
yes,
I was
yes.
I was doing the When Life Speaks newsletter, and was talking about when life speaks, shine. And I mentioned the fact that if you had a goal for the first quarter of 2023, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and that's really what I say, because it's done. The first quarter is done. It's gone.
Yep,
It is
yep.
over, and it's time to step into some other things. So we will see what else God has in store, what He has in store for us here at Authors Up. And I said I was going to mention something which is really part of Victoria's story. But
Okay,
last week we talked about your book.
Yep.
okay,
We,
okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I did send it to you.
we said we were going to revisit that this week. And
Okay.
that is part of a joint probably week in review,
Okay.
because you did what you said you were going to do. You sent it to us, and we're going to keep pushing sounds so harsh, but we're going to keep encouraging. There you go. We're
And pushing is fine too. I'm good with that.
going to encourage you to continue this. I think that when you are writing about
Hmm.
something that is so close to you,
Hmm.
and that has so many um, memories and perhaps triggers for
Yes,
you,
yes,
it can be difficult to keep going. Um,
right.
but I know that Ruth has a word of some kind that she's going to share during the week that's going to help you to keep on task and keep on track. Because
Yeah.
my reminder for you is that it's not for you.
Right, right.
To,
I
to,
received that.
to
I
keep
received
that
that.
ahead of you, keep that in the forefront, that it is not for you. And
Right,
that may help you with the rough places,
right.
uh, because it is a story that needs to be told, and
Hmm.
you're the perfect one to tell it. You're the perfect one to tell it. So keep
Yeah.
that for you. That is not for you, not for you.
All right. I got it. I got it.
And Ruth's gonna have something for you too, and we're gonna keep encouraging through those things. Okay.
Okay.
But for tonight, oh, Virgin Islands is with us. Hello, hello,
Welcome. Welcome.
welcome. Good to have you back on the Office Up with us this evening. We have a wonderful guest tonight, and Victoria is going to begin the evening by telling us a little bit about her, and I'm going to add
Yes.
to
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
And yeah. Go ahead. Tell us
Ready.
who our guest is tonight.
Tiffany teacher. All right. Teachy, is a senior mechanical engineer, science, technology, engineering, and math, which stands for STEM advocate, a TEDx international speaker, an international best-selling author of the children's book, What Can I Be? STEM Careers from A to Z. That's the one we'll be talking about tonight. And 2 women empowerment books. She is the host of the Read It Rights radio show on WRB Media. Tiffany is also the owner of Thrive Edge Publishing and owner publishing consultant of Inspired Authors Publishing. She helps industry and business leaders publish children's books about their field to inspire children to choose the same path.
Mhm. Tiffany also holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering, as well as a Master of Science degree in Engineering Management, both from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. She is a leadership studies PhD student at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. As an engineer with over 18 years of experience, Tiffany is passionate about inspiring the next generation to engage in STEM careers. She was born and raised in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and enjoys traveling and being a youth mentor. So
Yeah.
we're going to take a little break right here. And when we come back, guess what's going to happen? All of you out there are going to get to meet Tiffany Teachy. Hang in there. We'll be right back. There we are.
All
Well,
right. Welcome, Tiffany. We're glad to have you on our show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be on the show with you.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, let's keep riding that energy. So tell us about your book, What Can I Be?
All right. So my name is Tiffany Teachy. As you've heard, I am the author of What Can I Be? STEM Careers from A to Z. It's a children's book to inspire kids, 5 to 8-year-olds, to see themselves in it. And it's an alphabet book. So I kept it simple. Started with A is for astronaut, all the way to Z is for zoologist. And it's just encouraging kids to see themselves in these different diverse careers that they can be a part of.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to say I was surprised that you were able to find something for every letter of the alphabet.
You're
Right.
But I think that speaks to how diverse, STEM actually is, because I was surprised by a few of them. But, can you speak to that part of it?
Yes. So I will say there were some challenging letters. You're like, what can it? Everybody's like, what letter did you do for this one? The one that challenged me was the Y. So I ended up doing, since I have it, Y is for yacht designer. And so I was able to have, design inside of it. And so yacht designer, luxury boats, kids learning about that. So that was really one of the toughest ones out of all of them. And then I tried to make sure it wasn't just like engineering like I am. I wanted to make sure that there was some, and there's some tough words in there. K is for kinesiologist.
yes.
Yes.
So there are some tough ones, but it's starting to challenge the parents and aunts and uncles and grandparents to be able to start allowing the kids to learn about the careers, and then they can start researching from it. But yeah, there were some tough words as far as letters to generate. But yacht designer, Y was the hardest one out of all of them.
All right. All right. So now you are a youth mentor. What is the interest you see in the age group that you work with versus others? What age group do you work with, and what made you go with the 5 to 8 on the book?
Well, I know that third grade is that prime time when they decide what's going to happen from a testing standpoint with these kids. So I said, why don't I get them before they catch third grade? So I said, let's do the book from K through 2, 5 to 8-year-olds. And so I'm a mentor for youth in general. So I can go K through 12. I even got college mentoring from that end, but something about starting early and then just stimulating their minds early has been the biggest piece of why I decided to start early. Like I said, third grade is that prime time. So I said, let me get early before then, get them instilled with math and science and say they can be it as well. And so that's why I decided to go with that age group.
Awesome. Awesome. So, I don't think that we'll be able to talk about the book without being able to talk about you, because you are just exuding all this energy that, I'm feeling all the way here in Johnson County, North Carolina. So tell us about how you came to your career, and then how do you go from being an engineer to, I'm going to write a book for kids?
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. My mom was an educator and my dad was an entrepreneur, and they instilled us the power of education as well as working hard. My brother, he also is an engineer as well. I'm a mechanical engineer. He's a civil engineer. But we started by taking a math and science Saturday Academy. And initially I wanted to be a lawyer. I thought I could debate and do all that. But then when I learned about, math and science and how you could problem solve and be able to challenge that way, I decided to go that route. And then also my dad, he had a client who was a civil engineer, and he said, "Why don't you get your kids into engineering? It's a great field." And so, from what you call that is social capital. Didn't know that, but when you have somebody who can do that, that's the way you look at it. So I had that, as well as my mom had us in math and science. So that's what got us into wanting to do engineering, realizing that it's a male-dominated field, and so and not many, as far as minorities, are a part of it as well. And so, me representing that, I feel like I'm paving the way for other kids and other girls and underrepresented minorities going to it. So that's what got me into going through the journey of being the engineer, going through being the male dominated with the college. I decided to go to University of UNC Charlotte, and it was, I mean, it's just guys in there, and I dealt with that, And so I realized I'm a part of organizations such as the National Society of Black Engineers, Society of Women Engineers, SWE, and NSBE. And so they would have us go and talk to the kids. And it was that moment when I asked the kids, how many's met an engineer? And not that many hands goes up. And so when I saw, after doing hands-on activities, reading to them, doing different engineering is fun presentations, I asked them again, how many's met engineers? And then at that point, they've met an engineer, but they haven't met someone who looks like me. And so that's when I said, okay, I need to put this in writing. So the opportunity happened when I saw a challenge on Facebook. It's random. This is how I ended up learning the process. But her name was Crystal Swain Bates, and she had a challenge on how you can publish in 5 days your best-selling book, how to learn the process. And so that's really how I learning how to publish a book. Within 2 months, I was able to publish my first children's book, Christmas, best-selling, who would have thought, from that end. And so the sky's the limit. And I know that I'm making an impact, and that's what I've been doing since then. And so 2019 is when I first did that. And I've been rolling since. I've generated color and activity books. I have it translated in Spanish, French, and Swahili. I have it as I said, so it's a way to just get it out there. And that's and then a teacher's guide. So that's what got me to where I am as being an engineer, to want to get more kids to get into these fields as well.
Okay. So
that's amazing.
Yes, it is.
So do you see yourself stepping away from the engineering work to fully pursue the advocacy part of what you're doing? Because I think the author part kind of works hand in hand with that.
Well, I don't say I'll step away from it. I think it's an addition to it. It's still from that end. I mean, I'm working full time as an engineer, and actually, I don't know if you heard the bio. As y'all had said, I'm actually a PhD student now, and so I'm learning work-life integration, harmony, and how I could integrate it from that end. So no, I'm not going to stop right now being the engineering, because I am also being a PhD student. But it's still tying in. What I'm studying is leadership studies, and I want to see how we can get more as far as advancement, especially with Black women in leadership in STEM. So it's all correlating. The things I do, they tie in with all comes together and works together with the STEM advocacy. So.
Nice. All right. So I'm going to hand you over to Andrea, and she's going to take it over from here.
Okay.
Well, guess what? Andrea doesn't have a lot of questions tonight. So you got off easy, Tiffany. You got off easy. But I do want to ask you, because I love the little people in your book. Yeah. So I want to ask you about your illustrator. Where did you find, how did you find, how did that work for you? Because that seems to be most of the children's authors that we have had on the program. That's one of the most challenging things that they talk about, was getting the right illustrator and then making sure that their ideas were being conveyed the way that they wanted to. So how was that journey for you?
Yes, it's a totally different ballgame when you're talking about children's books, when you got so many illustrations and being able to relate a message for kids. And so I ended up, actually, I mean, I have a book team. You get a book team and everything too. And I try to stay in my lane. And I've learned that in the process of putting a book together. So the illustrator part, I had to work with her, and I actually went through freelancers from that end. You got Upwork, Fiverr, like those type of ones. But I ended up finding one. I put out a bid. I put out who can design, and I started with A's for Astronaut. Who can design an astronaut female, African-American female one? So I put it out there, and I wanted to see the different styles. Some were some good illustrations, but some of them were too sophisticated. And you want kid-friendly ones. And so I started a focus group. I had my friends who have kids this age that it worked out. I said, okay, here's the different selections of African-American, little kid, which one? And so I found one that was a kid-friendly one. And so from there, that's doing test samples. It worked. And so now working with the illustrator, decided she's the one to go with. I had to say, this is engineering. This is different types of careers. You got doctors. Like I said, I'm a mechanical engineer. I cannot wear a skirt where I work. And so you have to be, and I have to be honest. So I had to draw, I had to tell her, I had to pick some examples because they're technical ones and try to get her to break it down into different outfits I needed the kids to look like. Different things. So it's a process based off of the book you have, but it came together. I mean, it came together, and I wanted to be kid friendly, animated looking. But we worked together. Like I said, you give them examples, and I think that was the big thing. And I made sure that was diverse. I wanted to be a diverse one. So the STEM crew kids, I start with the STEM crew kids, and I have the different crew. Of course, I have my brother in here. He's representing civil engineers in here. I couldn't name myself, so my mom's sort of represent right there for her name. But I did have it where it's a diverse group, and it is. I enjoyed the process, just making it come all together, and working with the illustrators there. And so that was the process that came about with working with Illustrator for me.
How long did they take you to by the time you signed on the contract to when she finished?
So on total, like I said, I started, it was a 2.5 month for me for this particular book. Initially, like I said, the time was taken, it probably took that month, majority of the time was the illustrator, because you want to make sure that was together. Once you got that together, you put the words, the thing is, mine was an alphabet book too, let me tell you. So it's a little bit shorter to come up with the description and the alphabet. So it is based off of your timeline of having your manuscript together. And once you got that, you're ready to go with your illustrator and you're trying to work with them that. So on average, it can take, I'm a publishing, I have a publishing agency as well. And so when I've worked with my clients with the children's books, it varies based off of how fast if it's what you want, and if it's really the illustrator's working with you. And so it can be from a month, 2 months, maybe to 3 months, but it varies based off of how many images you want. If you want a 2-page spread versus 1 page. So you work with them that way as well.
It's great.
I throw a lot at you. You ask, I'm like, okay.
I like the STEM crew kids.
Yes,
I like them. I like the different.
I have a trademark now. It's in the
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
So trademark. And so spinning off, going to have puzzles to flashcards, utilizing them too. So the sky's the limit when I got these characters now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
So they're going to be going on some other journeys, I take it?
Yes. So I do have a spinoff from these kids. Now let's take them through a journey of doing different activities. And so the first one, it's in the works, finishing up with an illustrator. It's taking some time. I had to switch up illustrators because of location from this one that I had picked. So I had to find a new one. And so sometimes you have to make it work. And so I ended up working with a new illustrator, and I still wanted the characters to look the same. And so we worked together. So it still took some time to try to translate that. But STEM Crew Kids Adventures, and it's going to be building a balloon-powered car. And so they're going to work through the journey of, so we have them working on and then I also have I'm just giving a snippet. I made sure that Auntie Tiffany, the mechanical engineer, is also in the book.
Go ahead, Auntie Tiffany.
So Ruth can now have someone who she looks up to, and then the journey is the kids working together to build a balloon-powered car. So that's no time.
I think that's great that you gave them an activity that promotes what it is you're trying to teach them, trying to show them about these different occupations and different aspects of them. And I think that's phenomenal. I really do. I like that. I like that idea. And that's going to be great. What was your hope for this book? How did you see it being used? Did you see it as a family kind of read, or did you want it to go into the schools? To be with the counselors and that kind of read? What was your vision for it in that respect?
All of the above. It's all about making sure I expose these kids and get the parents. So I put the school as well as the parents. I want the parents and aunties, uncles, grandparents to now take it home, read it, and then now have the kids asking the questions. Let me give you an example for the robots engineer. The R stands for robots engineer. And so you can now say, okay, a robots engineer does this. let's go get a robotics kits. Let's go do an activity with the kids.
Mhm.
Let's now take it to the next level. So now let's do some hands-on things. So I want to not just take it from the book, but now they have the curious minds. Let's take them and let's do some hands-on activities. From the schools, I want bulks of the books to go there. I want them to be able to get the sales. So then now we're getting into the school system for now. They can also do those activities with the kids, get them exposed. And so I just want the home as well as the schools to be able to get them exposed. And it has been happening since the book has been proceeding.
Oh, wow.
And then internationally, y'all, I just came back from Africa last year and was able to get it to the kids and talk to the kids in Ghana, to Botswana, to Johannesburg, South Africa.
Awesome.
Internationally is where I wanted to go as well. And so it has, and it's continuing.
Oh my goodness.
Congratulations, Tiffany.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, the book is just a tool and a vehicle to get you to leverage. I leverage the book to get me to other platforms. And that's what I've learned by being an author. You don't just have the book, you have it, but what can you do with it? And the sky's the limit is what I've learned. I did a TEDx talk in South Africa, and I'm still talking about STEM. And so, yes, it's been an amazing journey. Becoming an author is a business. It changes your mindset, and that's the type of from it. So, yeah.
That is great. You have a wonderful smile, and like Ruth was saying, you have great energy.
Thank you.
You can tell that this is not just something that you did on a whim.
Mhm.
That you are really passionate about this and about how far that it can go. And I think that is wonderful. I can't wait to see what the journey is going to be, what the subsequent journeys
Yes.
are going to be with the STEM Kids crew, because I think they're going to give us some great things and some great opportunities
Yes.
to teach and train and learn. And I think that's wonderful, particularly with that age group. You're going to stick with that age group?
You don't know how many people. I might have to move it up an age group a little bit because they're like, what can we grow with them? I'm like,
Right.
Those teenagers, I must have to see what I can do because I think I'm gonna have to try to tap into that other age group as well. Chapter books. I feel like
Chapter books. That's what I was thinking. Chapter books. Yes.
That's another big.
So I'm thinking now that I'm getting pushed to not just these pictures book, but now let's move to the chapter book. So the sky's the limit.
Yes, I like that. Miss Victoria, what do you have for Miss Tiffany tonight?
Get the book, everybody. That's my tagline. Get the book. Get the book. I absolutely love the book. Thank you. Show it again. Come on, show it again. Show it up. That is beautiful. It is a beautiful book. Look at that.
Listen, this is the latest one that came out this year. It's the journal. And it's tracing, tracing. They get to do the activities, but it's a tracing book and writing book with them as well. And so,
beautiful.
Talking about that, the color and activity book. They now can, they have coloring. They can do different activities.
Tracing. I love that.
So yeah, I have this, and like I said, it's a good combination. Not just a book, and then also, the teacher's guide. I'm sure you everything, I guess. The teacher's guide. So, like I said, I stay in my lane. So I work with a curriculum writer.
Yes.
So they help me be able to generate a teacher's guide to then take that different.
Oh, wow.
It has a workbook at the end. But yeah, sky's the limit.
I love that coloring activity book. That is
get the books. Get the books. We need to put an S on that. Dr. Teachy. This is Dr. Teachy, y'all. She's the bomb.
I'm getting a PhD year and a half. I'm calling it.
That's awesome. I had was talking to my sister last night, and I was telling her about your book, and I said we have an awesome author coming on, and I was telling her about the book, and I said, let me ask you a question. She said, what? I said, when we were coming up, and I'll be 59 in later on this year. I said, when we were coming out, what did you think you could be? And I said, and that's the importance of this book, because it opened up minds to the possibilities. And she said, well, we came up with teachers, nurses, maybe a doctor if you were smart enough, maybe a lawyer if you could afford it. But it was the basic. I never thought I could be an engineer.
Yes.
Secretary was the other
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
And then my mom was either hairdresser or house cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. I never saw a book like this and saw me in a book
Mhm.
like that, to give me even thought that I could be an engineer or I could be a zoologist,
Yes.
or a yacht designer, right? So I just think that you have done a wonderful thing, and I hope that from this platform you will get more exposure to your book, because nobody can tell a story like you can, which is why we do this.
Yes.
And you tonight have been the epitome of why we do this.
Oh,
I can look at the book, right? But to see your passion, see
Mhm.
why you did it, to hear all of it, it just all brings it on together. And I tell you, I will definitely be trying to promote your book. And I work in the school system, so I'm gonna try to see what I can do.
let's make it happen. I love it. I love it.
Beautiful. It really is beautiful. Well, tell our audience where they could find the books.
Okay. So first off, I have a free gift. Can I give a free gift? Can I give a free STEM
Yeah.
gift? Okay.
Ooh,
So
you like free?
okay. So I have a free STEM, top 10 STEM scholarships and organizations. So this is for those older kids, but it's not just the older kids. STEM scholarships and organizations ebook. So I've researched all the different STEM organizations, especially I have some the women, the
Yes.
minority type of ones, is scholarships and organizations. It's called STEM, www.stemistheway.com.
Wow.
www.stemistheway.com. Go there, you get a free ebook, STEM book, and it'll get you started to try to do that. So I first have to tell you that way. Next is definitely have different platforms from that end, but you can go there and at Tiffany Teachy for all the platforms from that way, and then tiffanyteachy.com. And once again, you see my name's with an I. Tiffany with an I. Have to put that out there.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I want to definitely give that free ebook because that's another way to get some more avenues of how you can get in touch with me as well. STEM is the way that
oh, good.
Way
Oh
back.
my gosh. You had some surprises for us tonight, and we
Wow.
appreciate
wasn't
it.
ready. Was not ready.
Well, I love it. And I actually don't have a question. My comments were just observation and my take of the book. It is just a beautiful book, and I love the characters. I love how you did the A to Z, how you laid it out, and you just laid it out, making it really easy. Yeah, I can think beyond being a secretary, nurse, and a house cleaner. I can actually be this because I see somebody else doing it. I love it.
And let me tell you what makes my day. This is what makes my day. After I've shared this with the kids, and when I go and talk to the kids, and then when they become some of these type of careers, and they say, I remember when you did this talk, when you did this. When I go to the vending and different events, and they see myself, like see someone that looks like this, and they're like, wow, you wrote this? Like being an author, they can be an author too, and trying to inspire them that way too.
Yes.
That's the thing that's a takeaway that they also can write a book. Kids can also write a book. And it's just been amazing, the journey. I just wanted to share that because they can be anything they want to, and just letting them know that has been the biggest part of it. And just seeing the smiles on the face when the kids take pictures with me and the parents that's excited and everything too. So yeah.
Yes. Well, God, but many blessings to you. I tell you, you are definitely walking in your purpose. And I just, we all, I can say this collectively for my co-hosts, we all wish you the absolute best, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing something very important, and it's almost not almost, it's a ministry as well to inspire these youth that they could be more than what they see. I love it. I love it. I don't have anything else. Get the book. Get the book.
When the queen is speechless, let me tell you, lady, you have done it. You have done it. The queen is speechless. But I do want to say this. I really like the fact, and we have another author that has done this as well. It's the book is great, and it is wonderful to write a book, and it's wonderful to sit down and be able to read the book to kids. But when you can come up with something that goes just one step beyond that, and that's what I see with your activity book, because that is presenting it again in an entirely different way, and it's a way that they will love. It's a fun thing to do. It's a learning thing, but it is a fun thing to do as well. And I really, really like that. I love the activity book. I love that they will be able to, it'll stick with them in a different way. in a
Right.
different way. And I think that is so. You have, when you say over and over, the sky is the limit,
Yep.
you mean that thing.
Yep.
You have proven it because you didn't stop at just the book. A lot of people would have. They'd say, oh, okay, well, we've got, all of these occupations out there, and now the kids can see themselves in. But you've taken that a step further, and then you've taken it into the teacher's guide.
Yes.
Mhm.
You really did not leave one stone unturned. You made
Translation too, as well.
Yeah,
Spanish,
Now,
All right.
did you set out to do that? Were you thinking about that? How did that happen that you ended up getting it translated?
I just looked at different opportunities. I said, okay, why don't we get it to Spanish? And someone reached out and said, why don't you get it translated? I'm a translator. I can do it. And I was like, well, the opportunity presented itself. Timing's
Wow.
everything. Everything happens when it happens. And I said, okay, let's get it into Spanish and French. So then there was a organization, STEM Dream Girls, and it was like they had a mentoring program in Kenya, and they was like, can we get it translated in Swahili? And so I got it. That was how I got it translated in Swahili. And so, you just never know. Timing's everything, and just opportunity. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think that's wonderful, and I'm just finishing writing something for a newsletter that I do, and I'm talking about the fact that sometimes you don't get that first thing, that first goal that you set out to have. That may not happen, and the dream may not happen, at least not when you think it's supposed to happen, all of that. But what do we do with our time in the meantime?
yes.
And
Yes.
that was right on point, because that is what I talk about and what I share. Embrace where you are. You got gifts.
Yes.
There's things that you can do. Embrace where you
Yes.
are and be able to share what you can, the essence of who you are, and help somebody else.
Yes.
Because all the journey's not about us. All
No.
the journey's not about Tiffany. It's not about Victoria and Ruth. It is about being able to do something that will impact somebody else
Yes.
in a
Yes.
very positive way. And you have done that.
Thank you.
Oh,
I
you.
really thank you.
Yes, sisters, yes. Great job, great job, great job. Is there any closing comment that you would have for our listeners tonight? Tiffany, what would it be other than the sky's the limit?
Well, I always tell, when I'm signing those books for the kids, I do say, if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And when I signed off on the TEDx talk, I did, if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And that's what our parents, the kids, need to be able to hear. And that's what I feel like the book has done. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Take advantage of my free STEM ebook, STEMistheway.com. And you better get some resources. I'm all about just helping others. And so take advantage of this opportunity. Many don't get this. And I think about knowledge, opportunity, access, and exposure. If our kids can get that, I think that's key. So.
Knowledge, opportunity, access, and exposure.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Let me write that down.
It's 4 things. Yeah. Knowledge, access, exposure, and opportunity. Those 4 things. I didn't do them all in the same way. But if we can get our kids to that, I think that's key. A lot of them don't get that,
That's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Fill in the blank. I tell you what, you have really done an amazing thing with this book.
Well,
And
thank you.
all of the things that accompany it, because there is a lot that is being done through what you have already started here. So we look forward to see what the STEM crew is going to be up to and what's coming up. Remember, Authors Up, when you get to that place where you are taking that second step, come back and tell us all about it, because we want to know what the kids are up to.
Thank you.
And what their older siblings are up to, because you may be at that point by that time.
Ooh, I love it. Look.
Tiffany, thank you so much for being with us this evening. You have been a joy, just a delight to
Yeah.
have you talk about your book and some of the things that you're doing. And we will definitely be supporting you along the way any way that we can, because we believe in what you're doing. And
Thank you. I appreciate it.
awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it a
It's
lot.
awesome. Miss Victoria, do you have any closing comments for tonight other than get
No. But other than get the book, no, yes, I'm speechless tonight. I'm just very impressed and I'm glad we had the opportunity to talk with you, Tiffany, and I just wish continued blessings to you.
Thank you.
And thank everybody for joining us tonight.
Amen. Amen. Miss Ruth, do you have any closing comments for tonight?
Well, Tiffany, thank you. And for our listeners, for our viewers, if you would like to reach out to our guests, or if you would like to be our guest on our show, you can email us at authorsup@gmail.com.
All right. Well said, Miss Ruth. Thank you very much. And again, Tiffany, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you, Virgin Islands, for joining in with us tonight. And thank all of you all who listened tonight. Look, this is a good thing, and this book is a good thing. So if you did not have an opportunity to share the program tonight, be sure and do so. We have a replay of it on Saturday, this Saturday coming up at 7 p.m. So if you know of anybody who's got kids in this age group, let them know, hey, tune in. Want you to listen to this. There's a wonderful author out here, and this is what she has put together to help you to let your child know the sky's the limit.
That's right. And don't forget to download our podcast or visit us on YouTube, where the episode will be available as well.
Absolutely. So that is it for us tonight. Be sure that you share. Be sure that you go back, listen to the replay, find out more about Miss Tiffany and the things that she's doing. She's going to be back with us. I just got that feeling, so I'm just going to throw that out there and get that out the way. But thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. We will be right back here next week at 7 p.m. It's our favorite place to be on Sunday evenings, and we hope you're making it your favorite place to be as well. So that's it for us for tonight. You take care, everybody. Have an absolutely amazing week.
And good night, everybody.
Be back here next week at 7 p.m. for another episode of Authors Up. God bless. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks again, Tiffany. Love you, lady. Thank you.
Love you too.
That's it.